Hello friends, welcome to Urvashi Teaches. I am back with yet another video on verbs, like I promised, the part 2 of our verbs. So, in our part 1, we talked about what are verbs, what are the types of verbs, as in the action verbs and your helping verbs, right? And we also discussed about the tenses and we saw three main helping verbs to be, to do, and to have, which help us, determining what tenses we are talking about as we uh, read through the sentences. So this time I am going to tell you more about the verbs to do and to have. Two verbs, and we'll see the various forms of these two verbs as we discuss about the various tenses. Okay, let's start with our today's lesson. Let's now take a look at the tenses for to do verb. If you remember, I had used a similar table for the be verb also, wherein I had listed out the various forms of the verb in present, past, and future tense with respect to the subject. So now for do verb, for the past tense, we use did, irrespective of what subject we are talking about. It can be your singular noun in the first person, like I, or it can be your plural noun in the third person, like they. Will use did always. For the present tense, for first person and second person, we use do. Okay? For the third person singular noun, we use does. Example, he does gardening or she does gardening. For the plural noun in the present tense, we use do, meaning they do gardening. Alright, so this is how you'll have to remember it. When you have singular noun in the third person, you will use does. When you have plural noun in the third person, you will use do. Future tense is pretty simple, just like the past tense. We use same thing across all the subjects. So we use will do. Okay? Example, you will do the homework. He will do the homework. I will do the homework. Okay? So that's how we use to do verb. Here are a few examples of how to use the do verb. Okay? For the first one, they did not turn up at the party yesterday. If you remember, for the past tense, we always use did, irrespective of the subject. She did the makeup herself. Again, the same thing. We do homework together. This is present tense and your first person. So we use do. He does everything by himself. Again, present tense but third person singular noun. Therefore, we use does. I will do the laundry tomorrow. Future tense, we always use will do, irrespective of the subject. Remember this. We will now look at the helping verb number 3, to have. So, if you see this, you will realize that this is similar to your table for the previous verb to do. So, for the past tense, we have used had, irrespective of the subject. There we use did. For present tense, for first person and second person, we have used have. There we had do. That's right. For third person, we have used has for singular noun, he and she, or singular pronoun. For the plural pronoun or the plural noun, we will use have. Previous one we used do. Correct. For the future tense, we use will have. Example, he will have graduated college by next year. Okay, future tense, we use will have. There we had will do. Okay, now let us take a look at some of the examples for the verb to have. So now we will take a look at the examples. We had sushi yesterday. For the past tense, we use had always with all types of subjects. She has a camera. For present tense, third person, singular noun, we use has. Will you have tea or coffee? I am asking about future. Okay, I have to prepare either tea or coffee based upon the choice of that person. That is why this question falls under future tense, and I'm asking, will you have tea or coffee? I have already told you that I can't come for lunch. This is talking about present tense just few moments before. That is why I'm saying I have already told you I can't come for lunch. They have a car. Again, present tense, and I have plural pronoun here in the third person. Therefore, I'm using have. Now, here is a practice exercise for all the three verbs that we have discussed so far: to be, to do, and to have. Now, I know that remembering to do table and to have table would be kind of easier for you if you can relate the two tables, right? Because they are similar, and you just have to remember the various forms of the verbs, and you can easily correlate and memorize this. For the be verb, it might be a little bit difficult, and you will have to put in some more effort to memorize that table, memorize the forms as we use it, because for the be verb, there are more variations across the tenses compared to the other two. But I'm pretty sure that if you give it more time, give it more, you are more focused, you will be able to scale it. Okay. Now, these are few practice sentences for you. I have given you the hints. You say, for example, the first sentence, she dash going to the mall tomorrow. You can um, use these three verbs that I have given you, put in the sentence, read it out aloud, and see which one fits in perfectly. And I'm sure that you will be able to do it. Okay? So, I'll see you again in my next lecture. Until then, take care. Bye.